I do not support witch hunts or harassment of any kind. Please be courteous when discussing the subject of this video. If the subject is watching this video, this is not a personal attack despite whatever jokes are made. This is for critique and entertainment, nothing more or less. Hi, I'm DaisyPhoxtrot, the commentary community's #1
Katy Perry
fan. I love songs like
E.T.
and
Dark Horse.
This person, however, is a fake fan, and I intend to prove it with my
I got tired of the bit. We're covering Veritas's video on Emo.
Hello everyone, it is I, Veritas, and this video once appeared in my recommendations. The video in question is a commentary by Emo's World on the Affirmator and Destroyer Shy's commentary on That Goes Red's now deleted commentary on Cherry 5's video on Pokemon. Not only will I be going over the flaws of this video, but I will also be going over the flaws of Miss World's channel in general later on. So, let's get into it.
I'm mostly keeping this in just for context that I'm too lazy to actually say out loud. But also do keep in mind that we're going to learn Veritas' problems with Emo's whole channel. Now, there is one other thing I can bring up, and that's the Katy Perry avatar. Now, I don't have much of a problem with live action avatars, but it gets weird when you're using a real person and not, say, an actor portraying a character. Like, it's kinda bordering on impersonation, but not quite there. Though, my main problem is that you don't do anything with it. Come on, no music, no related background, not even a reference in the title or any of your lines? Come on, at least call Emo a big-headed astronaut. Maybe it's 'cause your girl Emo get ass a lot.
So I wanted to make a quick disclaimer before we actually get into things. I make light of it in the bumper intro, but I am aware that I'm particularly late to the party with talking about TTC.
Why the hell would you use a different character for your avatar during the disclaimer? Was your editing software unable to handle that many images of the funny Homestuck character?
See, Emo's comment on this video covers this point about as well as I can. Because I wanted to, Smile. It's just a stylistic choice that doesn't affect the video that much. Hell, her reason for that is the same reason you're using Katy Perry. Because you want to. And that's why I didn't get onto your case too much about that. Nothing is gained or lost by using a different avatar in the intro skit or disclaimer, or by using Katy Perry instead of an anime character. At the end of the day, your video would still suck. Wait, I just realized, why would her editing software not be able to handle all those pictures in the disclaimer, but would be able to handle it in the much longer commentary video? I know you're just being a dick, but you're being a dick incorrectly, so stop that.
And also, I'm not covering the video everybody else is going after, but if I do make any sort of similar talking points to other videos, I wanted to make it clear that I didn't try and steal any of their points. It's just a coincidence.
You literally just said you would be covering a different video. How can your points possibly be similar when the video you're covering isn't even the same video that everyone else is making a commentary on?
Gee, it's almost like these two videos can have the same issues or something. Like, say, the editing being weird, or DS being too harsh to the target, or FROM not understanding the points, or whatever. All of these were points levied at both videos, so it's not off to say that her issues would be the same between both of them. This is like if I have a problem with how Baskin-Robbins has fragile waffle cones and I say the same applies to the local ice cream shop, and then some guy with a Katy Perry cardboard cutout on his face says, they're different restaurants, how did I have the same problem? Think for 5 seconds.
Hey DS, you're red, right?
An oddly specific question, but yes I am. Why do you ask?
Because this guy named Zach Goes Rad did a video on Shari 5.
Amo, didn't you already explain the context of this video? Why would you play out the opening for context? That's repetitive.
Hey, guess what? She didn't just play the intro for context. She actually had a few points to make about this clip, which you cut out. For example, she gets onto the duo's lack of chemistry, the overall quality of the skit, and the editing of the video overall. And she even goes on a tangent about the differences between how TTC edits with multiple editors and the Cloud Palace doing the same thing. This isn't as repetitious as you say it is, and there's more of a reason to play it than you imply. ya dingus.
Anyways, because this editing is driving me up the wall,
No, audience, I did not edit anything there. Veritas skipped more than 3 minutes of Emo's video just to make it seem like the only reason she played that part was for context. I mean, it could just be that he didn't want to cover those points, but if that were the case, why didn't he just use a skip card? At best, this is awkward and breaks the pace of the video. At worst, it's dishonest and paints Emo in an, albeit slightly, worse light. We're off to a banging start, huh?
I'm going to be re-editing their points and giving them Sheldon Cooper and Leonard from The Big Bang Theory, because this is why we don't get to have nice things.
Why? That is such a weird and arbitrary thing to do, and you're wasting time by doing that. What? You're not even going to do it for all of the interjections? What's even the point of doing it in the first place?
At this point I can kinda agree with. Changing avatars used to be a common thing back in the olden days of the SEC, but it's become less and less common over time as people realize that changing one picture to another changes jack shit. And I also do agree that if Emo is going to do it, she should go all the way and just leave in text and evidence that's needed. However, at the end of the day, it's yet another visual difference that doesn't affect anything, and it's not like Emo hides anything from the audience. Hell, she does what I say she should, and shows text and images from the original video, so it's not even like she's being dishonest. Unlike someone I know. That being said, I do actually have a problem with your text here. If you're trying to make a point with your text, maybe you should not have it glitch out in a way that makes it harder to read. That way your audience can actually read the fucking point that you made?
Regarding your disclaimer, first off, I see you still haven't learned how to spell Shari 5 in the time between my last commentary on you and now. Shari has 2 R's in it, not 1. This is a mistake repeated throughout the entire video, by the way, which leads to some especially humorous moments when we see him counting Shari 5s with 1 R, Sins, on top of the screen, despite seeing Shari with 2 R's name on the screen at the same point of the video. For that matter, I have no idea what a controversy is, although I assume it's related to the concept of a controversy. Oh, also, sentences end with periods, not ellipses, and if that is supposed to be an ellipses, you're supposed to put a space between each period. Also, the sentence structure here is just horrible. There should be either a comma or a period after the word content, and the and should be cut, with I don't want to start any controversy being its own sentence. Also, it should be with this video, not for this video.
Shut the fuck up!
Ephraim, buddy, pal, compadre. I did this joke in my last video, so you get it. Did you really need to spend nearly a minute to make a point that is essentially
Lol, you spelled stuff wrong, you idiot.
That argument only works if the original attempt at correcting one's grammar was insignificant. This instance was not insignificant. The original paragraph didn't have just one misspelling. The entire thing lacked grammatical everything, and Ephraim was more than justified to point that out.
Actually, shut up. None of the misspellings in that paragraph are significant enough to change the meaning of what it says. The basic gist is still, I don't hate this guy, I just think he's wrong and don't want to start drama. No meaning is lost with these grammar mistakes. Sure, pointing them out is fine, but you and Ephraim are treating this like Zack killed God right in front of you when he just spelled some words wrong. Shock and awe! Not everyone is a master linguist! Get over yourself, you fake Katy Perry fan.
And if you're wondering why I'm using a different avatar for this, your mother.
Oh, that's great.
This added so much to the video and my life. I'm pregnant now.
Wait, where did he go? There's no way out from here.
He jumped over the fence.
No, he didn't. By that logic, you could also do that. You are where you could jump off ledges in this very game, right? Like, did you even bother to proof check this video beforehand? Then again, concerning the rest of this video, I think I just answered my own question.
Okay, to pull a card from your deck, where's your proof that he didn't?
Hello class, welcome to Epistemology 101. Can anyone here tell me if it is possible to prove a negative?
Yes, actually. If you provide every possible counterexample and disprove each one, then you can prove a negative. For example, I can prove that I never told Donnie, I hate pigeons, by searching our Discord messages for the phrase, I hate pigeons, and seeing that Yep, no messages contain that phrase. Or, for a more relevant example, if Destroyer Shy can prove that NPCs can't jump over objects like fences, then he can prove that this character did not jump the fence. And, for a definition one can cite, Wikipedia says that if you have proof of impossibility or evidence of absence, you can in fact fill the burden of proof for a negative claim. With all of this in mind, it's clear that the answer is...
Actually, don't answer that. I'll tell you, it's not.
Shut the fuck.
With your ability, you could become a top leader in Team Rocket. Buddy, I'm 10. You really think that putting a 10-year-old in possession of a fire-breathing lizard in any sort of position of power for a crime syndicate is a good idea? I wouldn't do that even if they didn't have the fire-breathing lizard.
He probably means when you're an old age. No, I get you might need an ID when you're 16 in order to get a job, but he probably means that at an old age.
You say that, but you realize this is a series where you can catch legendary Pokemon and basically do anything you want, right? And considering the police in this game, yeah, I'm still surprised there isn't more crime, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, but what was the point of this?
Wow, what an insightful and meaningful point built upon such convincing evidence that you made right there, Miss World. But seriously, that right there was a big fat waste of time. Don't ever do that again.
Hey, remember this?
And if you're wondering why I'm using a different avatar for this, your mother.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, no, still pregnant by the way.
Anyway, that's all that sucked of that video. Let's move on to general flaws with our channel, starting with our thumbnail designs because, oh my god, my eyes.
Did you really need to put all those quotes there? Because all it does is make my eyes water with disgust. And it's not like this other thumbnail is any better. Simplicity is the key to good thumbnail design. Take inspiration from Juan next time.
Hey, can you lean away from the microphone next time you suck your own dick? It really helps not to catch all those mouth noises. This issue is so subjective that it hurts. I actually like Emo's thumbnail more than yours because it has more personality to it instead of being generic versus garbage. Hell, you can even do versus garbage better than this. Liquid Ooze in particular does a good job balancing the simplicity of your thumbnail and the complexity of Emo's and giving each one a different personality. Meanwhile, I can swap out the images of yours and nobody would notice. Which one is real and which one is fake? Just kidding, they're both real. Do you see what I mean about his style being generic garbage?
Finally, I want to talk about the images you use for your avatar. The unofficial images, that is. This is something I brought up before in my video on Raven Pines and I want to elaborate further on. Yes, obviously no one is banned from using fan art of characters, but it's still shit. You see, making presentable and optically appeasing slideshow commentaries is a lot like making a good flag. Yes, you don't have to follow any rules or basic cohesion when creating it, but when you don't, then the results are...
Yeah, okay, I'll take your advice, Mr. 6 Images of Katy Perry over Vegas. How is this more cohesive than what Emo does? I mean, I'll agree that I don't personally like using fan art in my commentaries. That's mostly just a me thing though, and at the end of the day, so long as you give credit, it shouldn't be that big of an issue anyway. However, much like making a flag, unconventional methods can produce interesting looking commentaries. Like, Nepal's flag is standout because of its unique shape. And flags like Antwerp's have unconventional geometric designs that make it unique amongst the others. And then there's Sicily, who may have a strange sense of design, but it's certainly not something anyone else does. There's more than one way to make a flag, and there's more than one way to make a commentary. Just because you wouldn't do something doesn't make it invalid to do so.
Now, I am not a Homestuck fan, so I'm not 100% sure which art is official, but it's pretty easy to tell which isn't because of how jarring it is. Many of the risk of fan art you used is so out there and nonsensical that your videos lack any cohesion or reason to them. The best thing you can do is limit yourself to official art. If that's too hard, then I guess you could just exclusively use these nifty looking Vriska stills I've seen you use throughout your videos. Even that option is a billion times better than going, hey looky here, this image got the funny Homestuck character so I gotta put it in you guys, golly gee!
You used a soy jack unironically. Your opinion is invalid. Go to jail. Seriously though, while I agree that some of Emo's images are weird to use in a comm, it's not just because they're fan art. It's because they depict Vriska doing things that depict abnormal emotions, if any at all. Like, I don't understand the use case for this image since there's so many faces at once. I personally prefer when the avatar stills match the emotion of whoever's speaking. And that's the key word, personally. I prefer the A. These are all things I personally prefer, and I'm not trying to force Emo to conform to my standards. If these are things she likes doing in her commentaries, that's her prerogative. Do you really want everything to be the same soulless shit? Like we're a corporation instead of a community? That isn't very socialist of you, Mr. Veritas. For shame. For shame!
So yeah, living on this world already sucks ass. I really don't think living on Emo's world would be any better.
Boo! You stink!
And that's where the video ends. I pretty much already gave my final thoughts in the last serious interjection, so just rewatch that if you want final thoughts. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to
listen to Teenage Dream, 2010.
And
cry into my pillow over my dwindling youth.
catch you all later.